Hello, and welcome to the inaugural edition of A Beer and a Tune. I'm your host, JP Spencer, and welcome to my sunroom from wintry Milwaukee as we stand here in January of 2021. So, why a beer and a tune? Well, two of my favorite things in the world are beer and music. They are two of my passions. And I thought I'd merge them, but with a special reason behind a beer and a tune. With the COVID-19 epidemic hurting microbrewers around the country, and particularly here in Milwaukee, I thought I'd highlight some beers by local Milwaukee breweries, particularly microbreweries, that may be hard hit by the pandemic that's going around. A number of microbreweries have closed their tasting rooms, or they have scaled back hours in some of their tasting rooms. They've really lost a lot of foot traffic that they'd be used to seeing, and it doesn't allow them to get some of their products out to the public the way you would expect them to. So what I'm hoping to do is highlight some of the microbreweries here in Milwaukee, not only for the local audience, but for the world audience at large, and any lovers of beer that happen to be out there, just to try and give them a hand. An important thing to point out is that I'm not accepting any advertising revenue when I do this. I'm doing it strictly because at the end of this pandemic, and hopefully we're close to the end now that a vaccine is being distributed, I want to be able to walk in and enjoy some of the microbreweries, not only in Milwaukee, but in in the greater state and the greater region, because we have many great microbreweries, not only here, but in northern Illinois, as well as Wisconsin at large. So with that, I thought I'd start with one of our flagship independent brewers here in Milwaukee, and that is the Lakefront Brewery. Now, they've been around for 43 years now. It was started by brothers Russ and Jim Klitsch. They are an institution in this town. It's not very hard to go into any bar and find at least one of their beers on tap. It is pretty much guaranteed that every bar in the area has a bottle of something from Lakefront Brewery in their refrigerators if they don't have anything on tap. Two of the most popular beers in this area are their Lakefront River West Stein, as well as their Lakefront IPA. It's fairly common to find those beers on tap here. I wanted to feature something of a different beer from Lakefront Brewery. What I'm going to present to you tonight is from their gluten-free line of beers. This is New Grist. It's a Goes style with lime. This is a gluten-free beer. Now, I know that a lot of you are questioning and asking me, okay, why are we doing a gluten-free beer in the initial beer show with a beer and a tune? Well, I'll tell you, at the beginning of January of every year, what I do is I start off by doing a 10-day master cleanse. So I haven't had a beer in about 2 weeks as I sit here. Probably New Year's Eve was the last time I had a beer, so it has been about 2 weeks. So I wanted to start off with something a little bit lighter. This is going to be a little bit out of season as it applies to winter beers that you're used to. You're used to seeing things that are a little bit thicker this time of year, something that goes down a little heavier, something that keeps you insulated from the rather windy days we might have here on Lake Michigan. But now I already poured this out. The reason why I'm doing this from a glass is that I poured it out. I did take one of this very video and found out that I, in my wisdom, left my microphone on mute. So it's poured. This is what it looks like. It's in a Lakefront Brewery glass. It's now, this is labeled as a Goes style, which means it's not a true Goes. Usually a true Goes is warm fermented. It's about 50% malted wheat. It also includes some coriander and some salt. Because this is not quite a Goes beer, but only a Goes style, this is made with rice and sorghum, and we also have hints of both Zeus and Willamette hops. It's 5.1 alcohol by volume. You got an ABV of, an IBU of 15, and you have a Plato of 14 degrees for that gravity. This is more of a refreshing beer. I highly recommend it in the summertime for those of you who are willing to try gluten-free beer. And something that might surprise you about the Lakefront Brewery is that 40% of their business is shipping gluten-free beer overseas to people who explore something like this. So with that, I know that a lot of you have questioned, hey, is he really going to drink beer on his YouTube channel? Well, guess what? The answer to that is yes. We're sitting in Milwaukee. Of course I'm going to drink a beer on my YouTube channel. So here is to Lakefront Brewery, one of the anchors of the Milwaukee area. Here's to the Klitches, and here's to many, many more beers that they will be making for us. New grist goes style with lime. It's just like I remembered it the first time I tried it at the Circle A Tavern over in River West when I had a gig back in 2019, and I was looking for something light that wouldn't weigh down my voice, which is a good lead-in to the tune that I'm going to be presenting in just a moment. For tonight's tune, I thought I'd give you this one. This mentions drinking beer, and it's called Someday. Someday the waters will rise. One day the waves will grow tall. Someday the ghosts of the past will come and swallow us all. Someday the winds will all freeze and take away all your air. One day the dirt at your feet will be the dirt in your hair. And why, oh why does every sunrise later say it ain't happened yet? So drink a ginger ale and eat some marmalade. Someday the clocks will all stop. One day the car doesn't start. One day you're running the mile, and then you're clutching your heart. On sunny days you're the hound. On rainy days you're the fox. Today you sleep in a bed. Someday you'll sleep in a bar. So why sit and act as if the race is run? That just isn't fun. So drink a pint of beer and eat some cola nuts. Someday you hear every word. One day you chat and you charm. Someday you're lying in bed and you don't hear the alarm. Today the well is half full, and then tomorrow it's dry. Take a look at the clouds before you float in the sky. That's it for Beer and a Tune this week. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you next week.